Hi everyone, you're welcome to the 5th week of the semester. Our topic for this week is capturing technology's competitive advantages. So basically we want to explore how technology has actually had impact on the way the tourism industry generally has been able to fare, right? Like carry out their services. So we want to see the impact of technology on competitive advantages of this industry. The learning objectives include one to describe some of the technological trends that are shaping operating practices. All right, we'll see the trend, we'll look at the trend that have shaped the operating practices. Then we'll try to describe how technology can enhance productivity. How can we use technology to enhance productivity? We all know that all sectors of the economy do improve on their technology. They do adopt technology rather to to enhance their productivity. We're also going to look at how technology has improved both the internal and external communication. Furthermore, we'll try to describe how technological changes will have impact on the future of tourism industry. We know what's obtained in the past, we know what's obtained presently, we know the impact that technology has presently. Then we'll also try to see what is going to happen in the nearest future, or what is likely to happen with the development of technology. Thereafter, we'll try to describe how technology can enhance customer service. Furthermore, we'll look at how internet has changed tourism operations generally. And lastly, we'll try to describe how revenue management has improved the financial performance tourism suppliers. So these are quite a number of objectives, but they are very short. So it's not like we're going to take much of our time. So starting with technology. What is technology? We can define technology as the use of knowledge, the use of new knowledge and tools to improve productivity and systems. We all know the impact of technology. We all know what technology is, and we all know how it has, impacted all walks of life, all aspects of our lives, whether feeding or eating, driving, buying and selling, even, e-commerce. With the development of technology, we've been able to achieve a lot, when it comes to purchasing and selling. So technology, like I mentioned, is the use of knowledge to improve productivity and system. You improve your system and you improve your productivity. So this creates challenges and opportunities, definitely. It comes with challenges and opportunity, not only for the tourism service provider, but for everybody. But we are concerned in this course with the tourism provider. So we are going to see how technology has been able to impact service providers, the challenges and the opportunities that are available to them. Inexpensive data storage and processing speeds have given rise to the POS and the ERP. We all know what POS is. That's the point of sales, while the ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So we're still going to deal with this further. What are the outcomes from investments in technology? When the tourism industry, or when there is investment in technology, especially when it comes to the tourism, what are the outcomes? If companies invest in technology, what are they likely to achieve? One, we realize that there will be enhanced productivity. There will be enhanced productivity. They will be able to achieve a lot within a short period of time. They will be able to produce a lot with the same quantity, all right? Then it's going to lead to improved communications, both internally and externally. Internally within the company and externally to the customers and other stakeholders. Then it's also going to lead to enhanced customer services. There will be enhanced customer services. It's going to improve profitability, and lastly, lead to competitive advantage. So this is how technology impacts the tourism suppliers. All right, it's going to impact all aspects like we mentioned earlier. It's going to impact communication. It's going to impact customer service. It will lead to improved customer service. It's going to improve productivity and as well improve profitability. So this is technology in the center here, and it has the impact on all these aspects that have been shown in the diagram. Improving operating efficiency and effectiveness. That's the first point. That's the first impact of technology that we mentioned in the previous slide. So in the face of rising wages, increasing input costs, and intensifying competition, this has necessitated the changing of the old ways, all right? It has necessitated the service providers to, they are now forced to cut their wages or to cut the staff size, all right? They need to cut the staff size so as to be able to reduce the production cost. They need to increase their productivity as well, and they need to rethink their marketing efforts, their marketing strategies, so as to be able to achieve, to maximize the impact of technology. So examples of technology improvements has been one, staffing programs to match staff levels to demand level. All right, you have to have programs or engage in programs that are going to improve your staff such that the demand level will also be met. We also have communication technologies such as remote devices, which makes internal ordering and inventory stocking more efficient. Okay, people now embark or use these remote devices to control the inventory. You already know your reorder level, all right? Once it shows in the system, then you know when to order for more input. You already know the internal ordering, whatever the level, or the stocking method, such that everything is done efficiently. You know when to order for more. You know when you are expecting the arrival of new order. You know when to stop ordering. Okay, you know that, okay, this is the maximum output that we can accommodate for now. All right, so when you use this stock to a certain level, then you can now reorder. So all these are being controlled, they are being regulated with the use of technology. So also we have a management information system. That is another advantage, the management of information systems. Computer-based system for collecting. Management information systems are computer-based systems that are meant for collecting, storing, and retrieving information that are used for planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. So technology has also impacted the tourism industry in this way, in the way in which the data are being managed, in the way in the way in which the data is being collected, in the way in which it's being stored, in the way in which it's being retrieved, and in the way they are used for the planning, the decision making, and other problem solving. So at the point of data input, we have reservations, we have POS devices, and we have periods when guests check in. So this is how information is being managed or data is being collected. When you are making reservations, data is being gathered. All right, POS can be used to process reservations. They are used to manage the waiting list. Okay, you know customers that are on the waiting list for maybe the next available either flight or hotel room booking or whatever. All right, they are also used to record and track customer orders. You know when customers are placing order, you also use it to track their order. So they reduce credit and expenses as well, and they are also used to manage inventory. So management information system also aid property and store level decision making. All right, they aid the decision making of the management in terms of their store level and their property. Aggregation of data can improve the financial management and marketing decisions. When you have all this data gathered using the management information system, then you can improve on your decisions on the financial, the management, and also the marketing aspects of the company or the organization. The ERP, which is the Enterprise Resource and Planning System, is the total integration of all the information services. This is a software actually, all right? The ERP is this type of software that is used to manage data, all right, for assessment activities. They are used for managing data for assessment activities. We also have the point of sale system for food service. which is applicable in the tourism, what's in this industry as well, where users or customers can just place order for their food using the self-service machine. Right, they can use the machine, they can place order. So you track, you input whatever you want to order, and you pay also using the machine. Then they read it at the management, whatever, or the office that is responsible for that, and then your order is being carried out. Or let's say the kitchen, for example, so they prepare the meal that you ordered and it's being delivered to you. Apart from that, property management system for hotels and resorts is also one of another important advantage of the management and information system. They are used to manage their property and their hotel, for their properties system for hotels as well as their resorts. So here are examples of management information system features. We have the account receivable. It shows the account receivables, the climate control, the customer profile and preferences. Of course, they will have the data. They have data on housekeeping, reservation and table management, security, revenue management, web ordering, auditing, analysis. A lot of information, in the management information system. So all these are information that are being gathered, right? Gathered, stored, retrieved, and used in planning activities. Moving ahead now, we want to talk about providing customer convenience and enhancing services. That is another advantage of technology. That's another impact of technology on the tourism industry. We have the do-it-yourself approach via the self-service kiosks, for example, like I mentioned earlier, that if you want to maybe order food, for example, you can just walk in, use the available machine, you can input your order and you have your seats. Then the next thing is that your food will be served. Right, once you place the order, they receive it in the kitchen, prepare or serve your meal, and they get it delivered to your table. So that's one of the advantage. It's very, very convenient both for the customer, and it enhances the services of the tourist suppliers as well. It's also handheld devices and tablet computers aid employees in the service delivery process. All right, this so many devices, tablets, and so on, they aid the employees in the service industry and how they deliver their services. Geo-based technology helps identify unique features of current place. For example, we have geographical based technology, for example, the GPS, where someone's location can be identified immediately. So this is also one of the advantages of technological advancement. Database marketing or data mining also aids in targeting microsegments with customized marketing mixes. So all these are ways in which technology provide customer convenience, and also on the part of the tourism suppliers, it enhanced their services. Then we have changing communication and distribution channels as a result of the advent of technology or transformation of development of technology. The advent of the internet fundamentally changed all distribution channels. Don't forget that we discussed about the distribution channels in the previous one of the previous classes. We talked about the middleman in terms of the wholesaler and retailer, or the agents, right? So online booking engine now allow travelers to compare schedules and prices without an intermediary. There is direct link. You want to look at the flight rates or fares, so you just check the website. You have various websites that are available for you to check the flight, the date, also the prices. You can compare. You can even compare the schedule. Okay, depending on the availability of the flight, you can make your choice. Okay, I want to travel on a Friday, but okay, the airline I'm interested in, okay, maybe airline A. Airline A is not available on Friday, so I may rather, if it's available on Sunday, I might just decide to stay till Sunday if I don't mind, right? If I'm not, due to a number of factors. But if definitely I have to be where I'm going on a Friday, or maybe I have to arrive there on that very particular day, then I may not have any choice than to board the available flights. So this is one of the advantages. Online booking engines are so much available that you can just use them to compare the schedules of all these flights. You compare their prices, you compare, so many, even their number of stops, right? The stopover or the transition, right? So I mean the transit. So you want to compare the transit between one and another among the available flights for your decision making. That is also possible. The early airline reservation system have later been further developed and evolved into the global distribution system. All right, the airline reservation system initially has now been developed now into a global form of distribution system. So all these are how communication have actually impacted how technology has actually impacted communication and distribution channel of the tourism industry. So here is a table showing the internet usage around the world. Actually, this is 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I've tried to search for a more recent one. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So we have to do with this available data for now. In case I come across it, eventually I will still share. But for now, we have to make use of this, as this is presumably the latest data that is available now. So we can see the world regions. Okay, these are the world regions. We have Asia, Europe, Latin America, Caribbean, Africa, North America, Middle East, Oceania or Australia, and then we have the world total here. So these are internet users as at June 30, 2016 compared to their population. All right, and this is the growth rate between 2000 and 2016. Now we want to move on to internet-based distribution for hotels. The hotels use central reservation systems to make room bookings. All right, they use central reservations. There is a system that hotels use to make booking, and this is known as the CRS. So that is another way in which technology has actually impacted the tourism industry. Lodging marketing organizations or trade associations have also come up, all right, as a result of this, and we have online travel agencies that are available, okay, bringing transformation to the distribution channel, and then the information source providing customer reviews and comments is also available now. All right, we have information sources from customers. There are times you want to buy a product, or you want to see you want to read review about a particular product or a particular company's and services. So you just go to their maybe the social media handle, their website, or whatever. You go to the review section. You read through all the comments there and the reviews that they've received so far for you to be able to make your decision. So all these are quite a number of internet-based information sources. All right, they serve as information sources to customers. Internet as a travel tool. Travelers now use internet for ideas, inspiration, and information. All right, they now use the internet for so many things. Like I mentioned earlier, they can visit websites or blogs or vlogs, of many tourism companies, just to see how fair or how well they're faring and a lot of things. So travelers can use that as a source of their own ideas. They can use that as a source of their own inspiration. They can use that as a source of their own information. The web also can be used in various forms. It can be used as a source of customized maps. It can be used for up-to-the-minute weather, where you receive weather information, weather updates. All right. You also want to see the status of flights. We can see or view replacement for guidebook as source of destination information. All right, guidebook have been replaced as source of destination information. You just get the guidebook and look through for any information that you're looking for. Then you can stay in contact throughout the trip. Once you are on board, you can watch live view of how the flight is moving and so on. You know, maybe the number of miles or the kilometers that you want to cover. They're going to cover miles. The airline is going to cover the time. You know, then as the flight is moving, you also monitor the distance covered so far, the distance left to be covered, the time left to cover the remaining trip. To cover the remaining part of the trip. So all these are information that can make one stay in contact. Okay, customers are in contact throughout the trip. They have the information throughout the trip. The power of user-generated content. User-generated content facilitated through social networking and blogging. All right, these are facilitated through social networking. You also have your own content, like I mentioned earlier. We have blogs or LinkedIn handle, Facebook handle, Instagram, and so on and so forth. So all these can be used for can be used for improving information, one, and it can be used for networking. For example, one traveler can be speaking to another using this technology. Both positive and negative comments may be communicated. Definitely, since they have the chance or the power or the opportunity to review, to comment, and so on and so forth. So customer can they can make comments which may be positive or negative about the company. Okay. Managing brand presence on social networking sites is also very, very important. All right, it's very important to manage sites, and there is a growing and important source for online information searches. All right, online travel information searches. There has been a growing and important source. It has been a growing and important source. So basically, we'll realize that technology really has a lot of impact. It has impacted not only the tourism industry or every aspect of the economy without the tourism industry being left out. It also improves profitability. How does technology improve profitability? One is by revenue management. All right, revenue management is the method of allocating service capacity originated by airlines majorly. So they want to manage their revenue. How do they manage their revenue? They manage their revenue in different ways. All right, starting from maybe the reservation, the pricing, the guest profile, the check-in, the electronic keys, and so on and so forth, the check-ins and out, whatever. So this is now applied in many industries that can improve revenue through its use. What are the conditions for revenue management? Right, we have quite a number of them. The first, when capacity is relatively fixed. When capacity is relatively fixed, then the company may have no choice than to apply revenue or to adopt revenue management. For example, what we mean by when capacity is relatively fixed is that maybe, for example, an airline, all right, an airline or hotel, and so on and so forth. For example, in the case of the airline, if the airline is, for example, maybe a 400-seater, airline, even when the demand increases, it's not possible to increase this number of seats in the airline. All right, so that is why the management or the company needs to manage their revenue. So they need to apply this revenue management. Another example is maybe the hotel. All right, the hotel can also they won't say, because the demand is high for hotel rooms, now they want to increase the hotel rooms, because the number of rooms in the hotel is actually fixed once the structure is completed. Right, you've built maybe a 50-room capacity hotel, and once those 50 rooms are occupied, then you can say, okay, because more people are still requesting for rooms, you now want to maybe build more rooms. So that is what we mean by capacity being relatively fixed. When demand can be separated into distinct market segments, we all understand what market segment is. Okay, for example, when service providers can segment the demand based on specific customer profiles. All right, you want to in my previous example of maybe the flight, you may want to divide your customer or segment your customers based on maybe the first class riders, all right, or the first class, all right, the economy and the business class. So all these are segments, right, of the market. When inventory is also perishable, that's another condition that may give rise to revenue management. Perishable means that maybe you know, not necessarily about the food items or whatever. It just means that once this okay, for example, for the air flight, once it departs the airport or it leaves the gate, there are no more opportunities to fill its seats. It's not like, okay, we can still pick one more passenger after we airlift. No, once it takes off, then that is the end for that you know, that particular airline. I mean, the opportunity of increasing the capacity of the customers or the yes, those that will fly on board. So that is what we mean by perishable. So once it takes off, that is the end. So when services can be sold well in advance, that's another reason or another condition for revenue management. And services can be sold well in advance. For example, reservation, when customers can make reservation. Okay, reservation system now allows leisure travelers to save money by making advance reservation with specific time restrictions. We all know how the airline operates, right? When you have enough time, when you book your air tickets, I mean, quite long enough, it's most likely or very likely that, or certainly sure, that you're going to buy it at a cheaper rate than someone who wants to buy it at a very close, let's say a day or two before the flight. Some might even buy maybe that very day due to maybe emergency or some sort, you know, so many reasons. So when services can be sold in advance, then companies can also embark upon revenue management, because some would have definitely bought some, you know, while they are cheap, they would have definitely bought some. So the remaining can be sold to those who do not mind paying a lot to get those things. So these are the ways or the conditions for revenue management. We also have situation where demand fluctuates substantially. When there are fluctuations in demand substantially, then the company can adopt revenue management and system. And lastly, when marginal sales costs are low and marginal capacity costs are high. Now we're moving on to strategic levers unique to services. Okay, strategic levers unique to services. Strategic levers are basically enablers. Okay, there are those things that enable the management. They are crucial. Okay, they are crucial ingredients combined with the strategy that helps to deliver the success that the company demands. So they are more or less like enhancers. They enhance, they enable. So if you want to strategize, I mean, the revenue management has been widely applied in many different industries because they need this definitely due to various reasons. So each industry has specific characteristics and differences. These are some of the reasons in which strategic levelers are unique to certain services. It cannot be, we cannot use a broader, like an umbrella, something to cover all industry. It's not like the same thing applies in all industries. So because these industries are different, then these levelers are definitely different across the different sectors or the type of services. So there are two strategic levelers that are unique to the service industry. One is price. All right, price may either be fixed, that's one price for all, or it may be variable. That's what we refer to as dynamic pricing. For example, maybe like I mentioned earlier, we have the business class. We have the first class and the flight, the business, and the economy flight user. So all these are the economic class. We have the first class, the business class, and the economy class. So these three categories of flyers or passengers are definitely going to pay different prices, and we all know that at times the difference between even the first class and the business class could be maybe about 30%, more than 30% at times, all right? While if the first class and the economy might be more than 100%. So it depends. But when prices are fixed, then it will be one price for all. Everyone is paying the same thing. Then when there is, consumer duration is another reason why strategic levelers are unique. At times it could be predictable, and at times it may not be predictable. So that is why these levelers are unique to services. They are not the same across services. So it is only left or up to the management of each company or service, the service provider, to adopt the strategic levelers that are well off, right, or that pays off for the company. Operational considerations. What are the operational considerations? These are factors to be considered, all right? First, we have the desired market and position, customer satisfaction, employee morale, and demand for related goods and services. All these are they fall under the category of the factors to be considered when when any management is embarking on technology. All right, so they should among the operational considerations that they should look into are all these ones. The factors that have just been mentioned, the factors to be considered. Another one is that additional benefit from revenue management when it is combined with dynamic packaging and suggestive and selling should also be among the operational considerations. Here is the diagram showing the management revenue example for a one-leg flight. For the explanation of this, you can refer to your text book. I think the example is detailed there. So lastly for today, we want to look at the future of revenue management. All right, we've talked about revenue management. All right, it basically helps or allow service providers to reserve capacity. All right, it helps them to reserve capacity for the highest revenue customers. Like we mentioned earlier, you want to reserve some in a particular airline. You want to reserve some seats for those who will be paying higher, the first class, followed by those who will be paying relatively higher than the third category of users. All right, so these are revenue management and strategies, right? So they help service providers to reserve capacity for the highest revenue customers as they book reservations closer to the time of consumption. So one should not only or simply enhance revenue, it's also important to implement profit maximization strategies. We've mentioned that this is it could be different. The strategies could be different across or among different companies depending on so many factors. It enhances revenue from all yieldable revenue stream. All right, companies should enhance their revenue from all yieldable revenue streams. They shouldn't just focus on one aspect of revenue. Okay, one aspect of revenue generation. Don't focus mainly on maybe the flights reservation or booking. You can look at maybe meeting spaces, how it can yield revenue, the food and beverage offerings, retail outlets, spas, and professional services. All this should be looked at, okay, when considering revenue management. Potential management conflicts between revenue management and customer service relationship management or customer relationship management. Usually there are potential and management conflict between the revenue. The management wants to generate revenue, the management wants to increase their profitability, and then of course the customer relationship management, the um, that is management that is focused or that aims on increasing its own revenue, or a kind of management that is customer service oriented, like maintaining their customer service relationship, or the customer relationship with the management. So there is usually a conflict when it comes to making a decision. Do you really, if you want to really improve your revenue or increase your revenue, you know that definitely you will be having conflict with your customers, because they will complain. They will complain of higher prices. They will react. They will say many things. So there is usually a conflict between these, and it's very challenging for the management at times to take these particular decisions. All right. So we've come to the end of our discussion today. Thank you so much for your audience. Hope to see you again in the next class, inshallah. Before then, please do take care of yourself. Bye. Thank you very much.